So the next two problems, what we're doing is we're adding and subtracting. So step number one, we want to convert all numbers to standard form. So again, write out the original problem. We do have a -2 exponent, which means that this is going to move to the left 2 places. So that decimal is going to end up over here. So I would write, here, let's put my decimal. I'm going to put a 0 in front, and then I'm going to use a 0 for this spot right here, and then write 977. And that's converting that one from scientific to standard, or just a typical number. And to that, we have to add 0.885. Step number 2, we want to line up the decimals. So I'm going to write 0.0977. I'm going to line up the decimals together, always with add and subtract. So I've got 0, and then I have 885. I'm going to add a 0 right here. And then we're simply going to add these together. So 7 and 0 is 7. 7 and 5 is 12. Regroup. 1 and 9 is 10. 10 and 8 is 18. Regroup. 1 and 0 is 1. 1 and 8 is 9. So we have 0.9827. That's a pretty small number. So I would like to go ahead and put this in scientific though. So I'm going to have to put the decimal between the 9 and the 8. Again, we need a digit to the left. And I'd have to move that one back to the left if I wanted to go back to the original position. So now I'm going to put 9.827 times 10 to the power of -1. And it kind of makes sense. That's a pretty small number. So negative exponent. Again, if we wanted to move it back, when it's a negative exponent, we'll move it to the left, and it would turn back into decimal 9827. All right. Next one now. Again, convert all numbers to standard form. So we got 29 cents, or 0.29. I have to subtract 4.3 times 10 to the -2. -2 exponent means I'm going to move this decimal 2 places to the left. And it's going to go right here. So 0.29, subtract, and let's see, I would have a 0, a decimal, and then I'm going to need to put a 0 in this spot right here. So that's going to be 0.43. Like that. I'm going to put 0.29 first, and I'm going to line up the decimal. So I've got 0 decimal 0.43. I'm going to add a 0 to this spot just to keep everything lined up. And now we're going to subtract. So let's see, 3 subtracted from 0. I'm going to have to regroup. So I'm going to cross out the 9 and make it an 8. Cross out the 0 and make it a 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 8 minus 4 is 4. 2 minus 0 is 2. And there you have it. So to put this into scientific, I need to have the decimal between the 2 and the 4. To move this one back, though, I would move it to the left, and that's going to tell us our power right there. So my final answer is going to be 2.47 times 10 to the -1. And that makes sense. It's a pretty small number, negative exponent. And let's go ahead and box that, and that's your work for, I believe that's questions 7 and 8. So hopefully you found that helpful.